Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to another episode of Project Vegas. So, today I'm standing here together with a bunch of my shulker boxes because we are about to start making the city feel a bit more like, well, a city. So, this area here, so right now we are behind, the first skyscraper that we ever built here. Gas station is over there, hotel is there. So, here, let me just get a bit of air so we can see a bit better. So in this area here, I want to have like a whole, block of apartments. So I was planning to start from this corner here and then just start building downwards here. And this is not gonna be like huge skyscrapers. It's still gonna be like big, apartment buildings and stuff like that. The interesting part is the only thing I've planned is where I want this to be, but I haven't really planned yet what I want to build. I think that's quite common for me that I have an idea of what I want to do, but don't really know exactly what I'm doing before I start. So that also makes things quite interesting. So I gathered a ton of different materials. We have some end stone, sandstone, a bit of different terracotta, some bricks, yeah, and just, random stuff that I gathered. A lot of this is leftovers from the project down at the docks. So I'm ready to start putting up a few buildings. I don't expect that we will have this block done in one episode. But at least one or two buildings would be quite nice. Remember that I try to do all buildings with interior and everything. So I haven't really decided if I do one building and do the interior, or if I do the whole block before starting to look into the interior. And hopefully Tinis might help out a bit with that as well. Because although I don't mind doing interior, there's no doubt about it that I really prefer doing the outside stuff. But let's see. But I think that I'll just come up with something and start building. So expect a time lapse soon. And by soon, I mean now. So let's go. So here we are. And first off, I'd like to apologize a bit for the probably fairly shitty time lapse. The thing is, when I do these time lapses, I start recording them, and whenever I have to leave for extra materials or, do something else, I pause the recording, resume the recording, pause the recording, and resume the recording. And it do so happens that the resume part is something I tend to forget a little bit. So I guess for this building, you might have gotten most of it, but for this one over here, you probably didn't see that much. Also, in the time lapse, you could probably see me putting in windows and, these thingies here across the building, but I decided to remove those as at some point there will also be buildings going in this direction, and I want them to, be fully attached to each other. At least that's the plan for right now. So here, I'm probably gonna add some fire escape. Tini suggested that to me, and I think that's a really good idea because, there's basically something missing here, it seems. So also notice that if we take a look at some of these other buildings here, right, they are usually like all smooth and, modern looking, I guess, and basically have like a more or less clean look to them. Whereas this, I tried to go with something different. And The reason for that is that I don't. If you just put in a ton and ton of skyscrapers or big buildings all over the place, that just looks too clean. I think it kind of loses, the realism to it. The life of it goes out of it. Not saying that what you see a lot of builds with a lot of skyscrapers and stuff, and they are really cool to look at, but I just think in some cases it's gonna lack a bit of life. So I'm just quickly heading in here because we need to sleep. So with that done, we can continue looking at our buildings. Yeah, so basically this is me trying to add a bit more, you could say, life or realism to the entire Project Vegas here. So initially this was just pure bricks for the most part. I also added these window sills here. And I think they added a lot to the look, at least from afar, but of course they look quite weird when you're close up. But I guess that's the best I could come up with. I also tried with iron trapdoors, but that just looks a bit too weird in my opinion. So here at the door, initially this was also all bricks, but I at some point decided that it looked too bland. So I know I use the word bland a lot, but I know a better word for it than boring or bland, to let me know. But basically, I exchanged this then with diorite, and then I added that on top and on top because initially it just looked really, really boring. So if we go in here, you will see that there's absolutely nothing in here. I put in a bit of lighting in the ground just, to make sure that it's not turning into a mob farm in here. And also just let some basic flooring down. Maybe I'll give that out when I start furnishing it. And this building will definitely be furnished. So you see a lot of very nice, huge city builds out there on the big interwebs, right? And for a lot of them, it's basically just a collection of huge buildings that do indeed look really great. But usually, it lacks a bit of life because when you're flying around and looking through them, you can kind of see this is not done right. You can just see right through them, looks quite empty. Whereas something like this, if I could, yeah, or maybe this, you can actually see that something is going on inside the building, right? Like some life is going on in there, some story is being told, and I really enjoy that part. And we still have that Enderman up there. That's amazing. Yeah, so this will be furnished. I want everything we do to be furnished more or less. And this, of course, you might have a few rooms or buildings that won't be, but that's gonna be for a reason that the building is condemned or no one is living in the apartment or whatever. Okay, so then we have this building here, and this took me quite a while to build because I decided that I wanted to do it with these endstone bricks, and endstone bricks, in my opinion, are really hard to match up with anything. At least I'm not a fan of this block. Actually, I'm not a fan of the brick one either, but at least it's recognizable, right? Because a lot of stuff is built with these kind of bricks in the real world. But this here, man, did I have trouble finding something. I think I've ever only built one building out of these before, and that is my alchemy shop that we have in our shopping district, and I put that together with Blackstone, which looked quite decent. So initially this was all built with this, and then I put in these andesite things in the middle here to kind of, make it a bit different. It still looked really bad, and Tinius then suggested that I put down some of these, what do you call it? I put trapdoors down next to the windows, but that it did look better. But in the end, I decided to remove them and replace them with these deep slate tiles here. And I think this definitely improved the look of it. And if we take a look at the back, it looks slightly different because there's nothing sticking out from the building. But side note, I still do love this one here. Close up, I'm not a fan, but from afar, I think just the fact that I added this lighting here, I really enjoy that. Anyways, I enjoy having that here, but I'm getting off track. So basically, it's a bit more flat from this side of things, and maybe I'll change that. I'm not really, the thing is, I'm not really sure what will be back here once the buildings have been put in, or if all of the buildings will more or less just touch each other, or there'll be like a courtyard or something in here. I'm not really sure yet. And of course, this side is flat because more buildings will go here as well. So also, when you're looking at it from here, it started to look a bit bland to me. So I added these wool here just to indicate that there's actually a shop in here. And also I then added this staircase down here, which maybe we should wait with this door for a little bit because I will show you that later. But I think this adding the staircase here added a bit more depth to the build and made it a bit more, I guess, pleasant to look at. If we go inside, I did not furnish it or anything, but I did kind of make room for the store here. That's basically why I also made the staircase here, just to go up to the first floor here. And down here, basically, I really like, this black and white tiled flooring here. I think it has like this, lack of a better word, a generic shop look to it. And then I decided to do that with calcite and polished deep slate, and I think this looks really good. So this is now ready to be furnished as some kind of small store here. Yeah, so basically that's what I come up with so far. And of course I want way more buildings here in a similar style. This it's not gonna be looking so clean and polished like a lot of these buildings do. It's gonna be more, there's gonna be wear and tear on them. But I think that'll definitely add some more life to the entirety of Project Vegas. Oh, also we need to look at it from the top, I think, because a simple thing, but if you look at the pattern here, you just slide back over again, here on the floor here on the ceiling, I think that's really nice. Not the pattern itself, but the difference in color makes it look really cool in my opinion. And this is basically just gray concrete powder and cyan terracotta, and I think this looks really good. And I kind of did the same here, just with stone and andesite instead. So if you have any input on what we could put up here, do let me know, because I'm thinking maybe like these small water towers, or I think Tini suggested like a small roof garden or something. But I haven't really decided yet, so I'm definitely open for any input from you guys. And also, I would be happy to hear your opinion about these buildings here. And if you think they look like shit, definitely let me know, because I do prefer honest opinions more than a pat on the back. But before I forget, we still have this door down here. So now that I kind of hyped it a little bit, you're going to be really disappointed because basically there's nothing in here. I just felt like I had to put a door down here because it felt crazy weird to not have anything here. So there will need to be something in here. My first thought was like, the bar from, what's it called, McLaren's from How I Met Your Mother, but it kind of feels weird, especially because we have the store here. I'm not gonna do that. So everything but a bar, I am open for suggestions to what we can do down here. Maybe I'll end up just doing standard cellar storage room for the inhabitants of the buildings. I don't know yet, but do leave your input. I have one more thing I would like to do in this video. So let me just prepare a bit and I will be back in a flash. So I just stepped through this portal here, and I'm pretty sure this is a place you guys haven't really seen before. At least not as far as I remember. And this is, well, to some extent a magical place. It's actually the place where we have our new copper farm. I will not be showing you this video here though. But this is actually Tinis's base. And the only bad thing I have to say about Tinis's base is that her portal is far too far away from her actual base. But let's have a quick look. Of course, it's turning nighttime now, but I think this place should actually be fairly safe during nighttime as well. So let's maybe have a nighttime look at this. If you want a more in-depth look of the whole place, we can do that later time. I haven't really asked Tinis. I know I mentioned to her that I might show this place at some point, but maybe we'll do it a bit more in-depth. But this is Tinis's place, and it's a very lush place. I really enjoy being here. It's like, I think it feels like a giant Zen garden and make up a combination of a Zen garden and a farm, because she has a lot of animals, and I think this is like her main house where she keeps all the good stuff. In the background there you can see a few barns, which oddly enough matches up pretty well with the balloon over here. And that's actually the only thing I added here. At some point very early on when she was building this, I decided to pop up this balloon there, and somehow she made it fit very well together with these barns here, which I think is pretty cool. Looks really good from here. But as I said, there's a lot of animals around here. Also, she built a lighthouse. Oh, and I actually promised her to fix the redstone. She needs some redstone here to actually make the lights, you know, blinky blinky and go around. So I should probably grab my redstone toolbox soon and do that, but I'm not gonna do that now. Maybe we can do that in the next video. If you wanna see me mess around with the redstone, which I suck at, but I can get results at least, then let me know and we can maybe have a look at that as well. But yeah, I just quickly wanted to show you because, you know, Tinis helps out a lot, especially behind the scenes in the videos. There's a lot going on here as well. So here, if I remember correctly, this is where her polar bears are. Like a small igloo for these guys. And I know, let's just fly up here. I know she has pandas somewhere, and pretty sure I'm gonna buy a few of her at some point because I do not have pandas in my base yet. So here we have them. A lot of different pandas. Here we have horses, llamas. Guess maybe there's some donkey and mules in between. I'm not really sure. Lots of flowers, but you know, there's a lot of color here, right? It's really a soothing place. And keep in mind, this is nighttime. Maybe it's just because I'm used to being in Project Vegas right now, and nothing as of yet is safe in Project Vegas. Oh, just look at this, you know, this hanging chair here. I can't get in though, but look at that, how she made that. That's pretty smart as well. But yeah, so this is a safe place for the most part. I think it is, when we start going out here, we are now outside of the safe area, I guess, because we left the fenced off area. But man, there's a lot to look at. And this is where she gets her wool from. Of course, I have it all automated at my end, but I guess there's a difference of automation and aesthetics, and this is definitely the aesthetic way of doing it. Looks really great. And also, so Tinis is basically the primary one selling wood here on the server, and as you can see, this is where she basically farms her wood. There's no automation involved. She does it all manually. Plant them, harvest them, plant them, harvest them. And as you can see, these jungle trees here, there's no jungle around here. This is all made by her. And I kind of like that it actually adds up to the bamboo area over here where the pandas are, which I think is pretty cool. Anyways, I wanted to keep this video slightly short, but I also just wanted to show you this little slice of paradise that we have here on the server as well. And also just show you that it's not only Project Vegas. There's actually quite a few things around this server here. Definitely, I just enjoy looking at different styles of buildings, and yeah, well, Tinis is definitely doing a lot. There's more than you can see here. I know there's like a small town nearby she's building, and we have a skeleton farm nearby, but we can dedicate more of an episode at some point to have a bigger look and more detailed look at everything. But I just wanted to show you this. Anyways, I guess that was it for this video. So for once, I'm not gonna end the video in Project Vegas because I actually enjoy it here. And to be honest, I would have to spend a bit of time going back again, and it was just quicker to end the video here. I just noticed that there's a block of dirt over there. I guess a pesky Enderman has been around here. Let me just quickly get that out of the way. There we go. Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to leave like a like down there or even a dislike. But if you do that, at least let me know why. Whoa, that was close. That is like spooky close. Also, do remember to subscribe if you haven't already to tag along. That would be really great. And most important of all, do leave some input to the question that I asked. How do you like it? Do you want to see more of Tinis' base? We can like definitely have a closer look, go into the buildings, and I can show you, kind of see a bit there in the background behind me, something going on there as well. So if you're interested in seeing that as well, do let me know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and you'll see me in the next video. Bye!